This is why diets are like a bad boyfriend. I want you to think of some words you would use to describe a bad relationship you've had, such as restrictive, dismissive, controlling, demanding, abusive. Maybe you had a relationship so consuming you lost touch with your friends and family, things you love to do. It was thrilling and sexy in the beginning, so you were willing to ignore some red flags, but eventually realized how toxic and draining it was for you. We have to recognize that all these words and scenarios are also ways we could describe our relationships with food and our bodies. So I have 5 steps you can take to avoid making these mistakes over and over. The first step I want you to take is to reframe the past and affirm right now that it was not your fault that those diets didn't work. You are not a failure. You are simply ending a relationship that was not working for you. The second thing I want you to do is take the time finally to reconnect to who you are, what you want, and most importantly, how you want to feel. Establish a healthy relationship with yourself. Build trust, listen, connect, nurture. Give yourself some tough love where needed, and get really honest with yourself about where you may need help beyond just where diet is concerned. Acknowledge it's okay to need help. Admit that decisions you've made in the past might have been detached from love completely, and you may have made decisions out of fear, shame, or pressure from society. It's separating what you think you're supposed to do from what you know inherently in your heart about what you need. And that can take some soul searching, and you may not know what that exactly is at first, and that's okay. It's just so important that you let yourself have that time to figure it out and do not jump back into old patterns because it's comfortable or familiar. Truly connect with your body, and that cannot involve trolling for other diets to hop on or revisiting old bad relationships for another try. The third step I want to share with you is to be realistic about your expectations along the way. Just as with any relationship, your relationship with food is not always going to be perfect. It doesn't mean your weight will never fluctuate again, you'll never emotionally eat again. Let's be real, we all have issues, and although we may know what the right thing to do is, it doesn't mean we're always going to do it. But we can immediately forgive ourselves when things like that happen and develop the skills required to resolve conflicts, learn so that when we can navigate those situations better in the future. Because you love your body and you want to give it what it needs. The fourth step, similar to how you would going into a romantic relationship, is to establish clear values. And list however many you want, but one of my greatest hopes is that one would be that you value your health and quality of life over body size. This is a shocking thing to grasp when we've gone about the majority of our lives with the opposite of that being enforced. But just as it would be absurd to stay in a relationship with someone who would put conditions on your worthiness dependent on your weight or body size, we have to let that shit go. When you focus instead on the way you're treating your body, the way you feel, the way you're enjoying your life, then the way you experience the world transforms. Feel the weight of diet culture fall off of your shoulders, and you'll see the world with new eyes. Which brings me to the fifth and final step, which is, above all, honor what your body needs and indulge in your appetite for life. So I know navigating this topic can be a struggle, and there's so much information out there to sift through, so I would love to hear what your thoughts are if you leave a comment below. And I know this analogy helps me. I hope it helps you too. Thanks for watching. Lots of love.